gak suka mama coba ya mama. Atau mama coba di depan Facebook. Jangan dulu ya, tulis like dan sama ya.
Halo, selamat malam. Halo semuanya, selamat datang di live storytelling kami. Saya mamanya yang mendampingi. Dan hari ini anak saya akan berbagi cerita dalam bahasa Inggris. Semoga ceritanya menyenangkan dan bermanfaat untuk kita semua. Yuk kita mulai.
Hi, today we'll be talking about Medusa, and it's actually very controversial. And it's actually very controversial. We actually are going to get into a lot of sensitive content and topics, but it's actually kind of very popular. Some people even get Medusa as a tattoo, and some people sometimes also use Medusa as a tattoo, or even they use Medusa as a tattoo or a promise or something. But let's get into the meaning of actually Medusa, because sometimes people just get the tattoo without even understanding the meaning, you know. So let's talk about Medusa. So Medusa was actually when she was a little girl, she was her parents were like Gorgons, and then her sisters were Gorgons too. And when she was little, she always admired Athena, the Greek goddess, the goddess of wisdom. And one day she would like one day her plans was to be the priestess to be a priestess of Athena. And also other than growing up with her sisters, because when they were little, she always played the role of Athena, and her sisters always played the role of villains, right? And then she grew up with another boy she used to play with, and his name was Iphicles. Iphicles was also Iphicles and her Iphicles is like her childhood friend, right? And Iphicles was always with Medusa, and the Gorgons were very the Gorgons always was with Medusa at that time, because at that time she was still very little, and she vowed to herself that, oh, I think I want to be a priestess of Athena. And now I'm going to really get into when Medusa was actually when Medusa grew up, she became a priestess. She vowed to be a priestess of Athena. But when she grew up, she became a very beautiful woman, teenager. Because even though her use me the comments again later. So when Medusa grew up, even though her parents were like Gorgons and sea deities, she grew up to be a human. She grew up to be a human, and she was a very beautiful one, because that, and maybe too beautiful to the cause that maybe it's like really, it even caused her, her death was because of her beauty, actually. About Medusa, that's really cool. Thank you. Medusa is actually a character in Greek mythology, and Greek mythology is often used in many mindsets, and also their rules and stuff are used till this day. Their mindset, their laws, it's used till this day. It's used to this day. And so, Medusa is actually a very popular character in Greek mythology. But anyways, let's get into why she's a very popular character. She was a very popular character because of her immense hair, or maybe her powers. Maybe it wasn't even powers. Maybe it's like a curse. Some find it as a curse, some find it as a blessing from Athena. But anyways, Medusa grew up to be Athena's priestess. And to be Athena's priestess, you must mirror yourself of Athena. So you must mirror Athena. If you become a priestess of Athena, you must mirror Athena. So, for example, Athena keeps her virginity, and she keeps her vanity very well, and she does not surrender to the arrows of Eros, to the heart of Eros, because Eros is actually like Cupid. Eros is like Athena, Aphrodite's Athena doesn't surrender easily to Eros. Eros is like Aphrodite's like son, I think, because Eros is like a Cupid, Cupid. And of course, because of that, so Medusa must mirror Athena, god of Cupid. No, Eros is not god of Cupid. Aphrodite is the goddess of love, right? And then Eros is like Cupid, Athena's, Aphrodite's like assistant or something, like son. Eros is not the god of Cupid. More like another type of god of love. He's more like Cupid, He's like he's like the type of people, for example, Aphrodite tells you to promises you a lover. Let's try to take back a reference in Troy City, right? So in Troy City, Aphrodite promises. Why did you know about Medusa, and why did you choose to tell a story about Medusa? That's a very good question. I chose to tell a story about Medusa because many people get the tattoo of Medusa as a sign of, yes, they survived being raped or sexually assaulted. That's why Medusa is actually very Medusa is actually very very they get so many tattoos of her, and yet many don't know the meaning, but sometimes they still want to wear the tattoo of Medusa. See, Medusa wasn't always, snake-haired. Medusa, she wasn't always a monster. Yeah, a snake tattoo. She wasn't always like this. Let's talk about before she even got cursed. And also, so there were some questions about Eros as a Cupid, I guess. Yes, Eros is in fact the Cupid. He's like an assistant of Eros. If you guys really want to see Eros, I mean, he's hold on, let me show you guys. See, he's not. Why is Medusa's logo a snake? Because her hair is a snake, because she was cursed. So let's get into that right now. We're about to get into that. This is Eros. I'm pretty sure some of you know him from this statue. Eros is like Aphrodite's son or something like that. Eros is like Cupid. So Iphicles is like yeah, and you understand now? Okay. Iphicles is like Medusa's childhood friend, right? What is meant by Medusa? Medusa is like a name in Greek mythology. She was given the name Medusa by the Gorgons, unless you mean otherwise. If so, be more specific. But anyways, thank you. Medusa is actually, you are so beautiful, thank you. Medusa is actually, she was cursed, but she's not guilty. Yeah, that is true. Your accent is so cool though. Thank you. Medusa was actually with Iphicles, right? Medusa is evil or good? Good. Medusa is good. I promise you. But from different perspectives, some perspective of Medusa is evil. But really, if you actually know this story, Medusa is good. I love Greek mythology too. My favorite is Hades. Me too. I love Hades too. But Medusa is also one of my favorite characters too, other than Hades. Anyways, Medusa was with Iphicles, and Eros. Let's get into Eros. Iphicles became a target of Eros, so he shot his arrow through Iphicles. Medusa is so misunderstood. Yes, misunderstood, very misunderstood. You love Medusa? Me too, girl. Yes, I love Medusa too because of her wisdom. If you share this with me, you will be considered very great. Thank you. But anyways, Medusa was actually, you're very cool in speaking English and very fluent. Thank you. Medusa, she was from back about Poseidon. We're actually about to get into Medusa right now, about Poseidon too. So this story contains two different types of deities. So let's really listen to it. So Medusa, she was with Iphicles during at the time, and Eros shot his arrow, and so Iphicles immediately fell in love with Medusa. And once Iphicles confessed to Medusa, Medusa had to reject because Medusa, I speak to know, I understand what you say, but if I don't talk, I can't. Thank you, Stella. But Medusa rejected Iphicles because she wanted to continue her being a priestess of Athena. She wanted to be a Tilly, you are very beautiful. Thank you so much. She wanted to be a priestess of Athena, right? That was her very goal at the end. And to be a priestess, later. She wanted to be a priestess of Athena, right? And so she rejected Iphicles because she wanted to be a priestess of Athena. And so she became a priestess, right? But she became a priestess, and so maybe she was too good at being a priestess because of her beauty. And so to answer your question, how did Medusa initially turn into a monster in various versions? So Medusa became a monster because she was actually very good at being a priestess. She condemned rituals and she condemned many more. But many people came to the temple, to the wheel of Athena, not because they wanted to visit Athena. They wanted to check about Medusa, but rather because they wanted to know. They wanted to see Medusa. They didn't want to see Athena. And the main reason. So how many versions of Medusa are there? There are many versions, but it's not like Medusa is a different person, but rather because people think of Medusa very differently. Some think that Medusa is a monster, but some think that Medusa is evil. I heard that Medusa and Poseidon has a child, and it's Pegasus. Yes, Pegasus is actually a union between Medusa and Poseidon, but it wasn't exactly a union. It was more like sexual assault. So that's why Medusa is actually a very sensitive comment. So she was forced on, right? And so Medusa, she was a very beautiful priestess. Actually, she was far talented as a priestess, and so Medusa was known as the most beautiful priestess in that temple. And so, even a gullible boy once said, Medusa is much more beautiful than, thank you, Whoop. Medusa is much more beautiful than Athena. Athena is from the Mount of Olympus, saw this, and was very, was very distraught. But Athena knew that she couldn't do anything because she knew that it wasn't the fault of the priestess. Your English is so cool, bro. I really adore the way you talk. Thank you so much, Charlie Booth. I also wanted to talk more about how Athena was actually more. Athena was. It's kind of ironic, right? How Athena is the goddess of wisdom. Just in case for people who don't know who Athena is. Thank you, Tina. Is it Medusa a stone? So really, we're going to talk about before Medusa became a stone. So Medusa, of course, she became a stone. But let's talk about before she became a stone. Nice accent. Thank you, Abel. So she became a stone because she saw herself in reflection and she became a stone. So let's talk about how she became a monster. So she was very beautiful, and no, Tina, we did not. But anyways, so Medusa was being watched by Poseidon. Do you guys want to know why Poseidon went to? Otodidak kan? Iya kak, otodidak. So when Medusa was actually very beautiful, right? But Athena and Poseidon, they are rivals. They have a really intense rivalry because in the city of Athens, they tried competing, right? In the capital city, which goddess or god would take over it. And so they picked Athena, and they changed the capital city of Attica to Athens. And so that was the reason why Poseidon quite literally resented Athena. Thank you. Yeah. Resented Athena. And so, are you guys Filipino? No, we are Indonesian. Gorgeous. Thank you. So really, let's get into when, just in case you guys don't know, Poseidon is the god of the seas. You guys may know him from many statues like this. Also, did you guys know that Greek mythology is actually a religion in Greeks? Is like really. This is Poseidon, guys. This is Poseidon. With his trident, he rules and creates many. This is Poseidon. And so, he targeted Medusa as a weapon for Athena. Looks like twins with your mother. Thank you so much. So one time, Medusa went to the sea to do something with the vase or something, to fill water with the vase, if I'm sure. And then suddenly, suddenly Poseidon emerged from the sea. And then with everything, with all his jewelry and all his charm and charismatic charm, he tried to charm Medusa. Thank you, Lynn. But Medusa is I'm 12 years old, just in case you didn't know. I'm also getting supervision by my mother. So she was I'm sorry. So Medusa went to the sea, right, to fill her vase with water. And then Poseidon was emerged from her. But then, she rejected him. Why? Because she was a priestess of Athena. You must keep your purity. You must be, you must keep your purity, your virginity. So Poseidon fell in love with Medusa. More like lust. Lust is not like love. Keep going, girl. Thank you. Thank you for the gift for the fan club. Medusa is Poseidon didn't exactly fall in love with her. Thank you for the rose, Tina. I appreciate it so much. Poseidon didn't exactly fall in love with Medusa. Poseidon Poseidon wanted her body, not her love. Thank you, Tina. Thank you for the butterfly, and thank you for all of the gifts and support. So, hello. So, Medusa wasn't Poseidon didn't want Medusa's love. More like Poseidon wanted her body, or lust. Also, I also saw some comments talking about how Medusa was actually thank you for the rose, Tina. Yeah, you get it, right? Yes, I know Epic the Musical. I love Epic the Musical. If you did watch Epic the Musical, go ahead and tell me what's your favorite songs, because I love Epic the Musical. I mean, there are some songs that I know, but maybe some songs that I don't. Anyways, let's get back into the story. Medusa rejected Poseidon, but Poseidon forced himself on Medusa. And seeing that, Medusa immediately grabbed the base and smashed on his head. And this violence was crazy. Thank you so much, Dina. I really appreciate it. Can I ask again what your story is? Yes, of course. Yeah, thank you. Can I ask again what your story is? So your story is the story is about Medusa. My name is Nafi. We're talking about Medusa. Which part of Indonesian are you speaking, sweetheart? NTT. Also, anyways, Medusa is actually Medusa is often taken, or there are different type of people's perspective of. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, mom, English teacher, no. So my mom is not exactly an English teacher, but yeah. But Medusa is like a misunderstood character in my opinion. Thank you so much for the roses, Kola and Tina. I also wanted to get about like how people really taken Medusa as like our accent love. Thank you so much. So they we're like really talking about Medusa here, because Medusa is often perspected as an evil character, or we're talking about Medusa. Did Medusa have children from Poseidon? Because Medusa ever got raped by Poseidon, yes, that's how Pegasus existed. Let's get into the fact when Medusa ran away. Ooh, Percy Jackson, the son of Poseidon. Yeah, they ever made a film about that. I'm actually like really interested in about that movie, but I have not yet watched it. Also, Medusa ran. Okay, let's get back into the story. Medusa ran away from Poseidon. Thank you so much, Tina. I really appreciate it. I love all your support. Your English is so fluent. I appreciate it. Can you story about Helen Keller? Unfortunately, I don't really know much about Helen Keller. That's your mother? Yes, that is my mother. My mother is supervising me because I'm underage in TikTok. Also, let's get into when Medusa ran away. So Medusa ran away from Poseidon. I'm not gonna figure yet. Yes. Also, yes, Zoe. Yes. What is a Medusa? Medusa is not a, but Medusa is her. Medusa is a character in Greek mythology who is often misunderstood. And I'm also telling this story because I'm also talking about. Did you know a story about Katherine Johnson? Unfortunately, not. Also, thank you so much. Medusa is a very understood character. She got blamed for something that is not her fault. Yes, that is very true. Medusa, what grade are you in, Garen? I'm in 5th. I see many questions about my grade. I'm in 5th grade. Dapat sebutin Indonesia nanti. No, thank you. Okay, anyways. So basically, Medusa itu apa kakak? Medusa itu tuh sebuah karakter dalam Yunani mitologi. Medusa is a Greek mythology character. Medusa is scary. Medusa is scary only because of her looks. Because before Medusa became like Medusa, before she became a monster, she wasn't always like that. Medusa wasn't always like that. Medusa before was actually very beautiful. Medusa before she became a stone, Medusa was actually very beautiful because before she even, I'm trying to find a picture of her before it. Yes, mitologi Yunani. So Medusa, anyways, let's get back into the story actually. Medusa is, when she hit Poseidon, she ran away because Poseidon tried to, sexually assault her. And so she ran to the temple of Athena. But yet, when she before she went to the temple of Athena, Iphicles stopped Poseidon. But even though Iphicles was just a mortal person, so when Poseidon saw Iphicles, he just frowned, and then he literally fainted, lost conscious because he's trying to go against a god. Like, that's crazy. Also, this is the story. Like, I understand English well, but I can't speak fluently. That's okay. But anyways, when Medusa came into the temple of Athena, she begged and prayed for protection. She needed protection from Athena so that Poseidon could get near her. And yet, when Poseidon approached her, she got sexually assaulted or harassed. Maybe, so they did that, but Medusa did not, it was with force. But Athena, seeing this, was very angry, very enraged, because you were supposed to keep your purity. You were supposed to keep your virginity. You were supposed to be a reflection of me. Namanya diminta buat nge-translate bahasanya. Nanti kalau nggak ngerti nanti di-translate aja Kak. Nanti aku ngerti lagi. So basically, Medusa asked for protection from Athena, but Athena, already seeing this, was already enraged that they did such actions in a temple. But really, Medusa had no intention of doing that in her temple. Like for example, why would you be mad at Medusa when she asked for your protection and you didn't give her anything? Are Medusa here real human or just fiction character? I'm not really sure either. It's like a story. It's or a myth. So I'm not really sure if she's fiction. Who is Medusa? Medusa is a character in Greek mythology. Oh yeah. Also, Medusa is actually a very popular character, and many people get her as a tattoo. Oh, got it. Yes. Bisa sih maksud Alfred. Semangat deh. Thank you so much. Your mom is so proud of you. You're so adorable. Thank you so much. If you know about story Keller, please story about her. Yeah, I will maybe. If I know about Keller, I will. What do you think about her past? Ooh, what I think about her past is that I'm actually very surprised about the fact that Athena cursed her because what? Because she did sexual things in her temple when she was supposed to keep her virginity. But actually, it wasn't exactly her fault because she asked for protection and yet none was given. So she got raped and yet she still wanted to lecture her. Like, what? Like, you're being mad at Medusa for what? For what reason? So Athena cursed Medusa that any man who ever saw her again would become into stone, and so her hair became full of snakes. That is why we know her as this. That is why we now know her as this person. That is why we now know Medusa as this. Medusa is a victim. Yes, Medusa is a victim. Her hair is full of snakes. But originally, her hair was beautiful. Are you from Indonesia? Kamu orang know? Yes. Her hair was beautiful, and yet her hair became snakes. And so, any man who ever looked her in the eyes would turn into stone. Agree, every girl deserves respect. Yes, even this shows us that even girl to girl, there can still be jealousy. And it's also ironic, right? How Athena is the goddess of wisdom, and yet Medusa is more wise than her. Your mom's eyes were so cute. Mama bilang mau punya mata lucu. Gimana caranya itu salah dia? The one who raped her is Poseidon. Why did Athena curse her? Yes, I know, right? That's why I'm so angry. Cause like, why is it her fault? Why? What the hell? I know, right? It has spark in it. Thank you. So I know, right? Athena is actually, and you guys know, and did you guys know that even though Medusa got cursed by her, she went to a hidden temple in the forest, right? And that temple was actually Athena's old temple. Do you think Athena felt sorry after that? I think yeah. But did you guys know when she went to the old temple, if all women sees his eyes, will they still turn into stone? I think so, yes. Are you talking about me? No, just because your username is Athena, no. It's just someone's username is Medusa and somebody said, does anyone want to see my eye? No, Athena is actually a Greek goddess in Greek mythology, and she's the goddess of siapa tahu melalui kakak yang udah terus memotivasi aku belajar bahasa Inggris. Yes. Yeah, accent sounds similar to my daughter. I love both of you guys. Thank you so much. The compliment is so great. It's so good. Thank you so much for the gift. Anyways, did you guys know that Medusa actually entered an old temple from the forest? And so, she literally still worshipped Athena even though she got like cursed by Athena. Kayak dia udah dikutuk oleh Athena, tapi dia tetap praise her. Dia tetap menyembah Athena. Like, even though she got cursed, she still worshipped her. Like, when Athena itu Dewi kebijakan, the thing she didn't do to Medusa didn't reflect it though. That's why. It's ironic, right? Keren sih ini Polisinya. Thank you so much. Keep up the spirit of learning English. Thank you so much. That's ironic, right? Kenapa irony? Like, she's the goddess of wisdom, kebijakan, and yet Medusa was more wise than her. Tina, who's that? Kakaknya atau friendnya Medusa? Nah, not a stranger. Athena was jealous. Yes, exactly. Athena was very loud. Why, when a girl has trauma of sexual, called Medusa trauma? Because Medusa actually also got sexual assaulted. That's why people get tattoos of Medusa. Like, that's kenapa ganti isu nama TikTok? Because I wanted it more to be about me. But Medusa, because people got sexual trauma, right? Sexual assaulted. Athena's goddess from Yunani. Yes. Medusa got sexually assaulted, right? That is why people got Medusa as a tattoo, because Medusa was a symbol of that same sexual assault. That was why people made a tattoo of her. But I'm actually autodidact, so I can't really give much more techniques. Why is the name of this? What the name of the story? It sounds very interesting. Medusa. The story isn't finished yet, is it? Not yet. Because when Medusa came to the forest, went to the forest to hide in a temple to do exchange students to another country. Maybe I will. Also, I'm Indonesian. Also, Medusa is when Medusa came to pertanyaan siapa tahu nanti bagi. Oh, so Medusa, she's so beautiful. Yes, Medusa is beautiful. Okay, so Medusa got essayed. Yes, Medusa got essayed. That is why people get her as a tattoo, so that she could, as a symbol of her. Never been looked at like that. Kenapa banyak orang yang suka pakai tato Medusa ya kak? Karena banyak orang yang kadang mereka menggunakan tato Medusa tanpa tahu bahwa simbolnya artinya apa, meaningnya apa, artinya apa. Biasanya kalau orang-orang yang udah tahu ceritanya, kadang mereka menggunakan tato Medusa. They use the tattoo of Medusa without knowing it. If you get a tattoo of Medusa, that's a symbol of you surviving even though you got raped. Jadi selain cerita Medusa, adakah cerita lainnya kak? Yes, ada banyak banget cerita Greek Yunani mitologi, and many kan enak didengar, yeah. Many cerita-cerita of Greek mythology is actually very complex, and yet it's really good for like or your morals, your different type of perspective, your different type of like the exploration of different feelings of how people can actually be very ironic. Medusa itu maksudnya apa kak? Itu tuh sebuah karakter dalam Greek mythology yang bisa mengerti. Good job, princess. Thank you so much. So it's very ironic how Athena is the goddess of wisdom, and yet, bisa nggak live-nya jam gini? Biasanya hari apa aja? Mau sering live kakak? Biasanya biasanya konsisten. Jam-jam gini juga ya sering live. Jadi kalau mau nonton, besoknya juga kayaknya bakalan live juga kalau malam-malam kayak begini. And also, Medusa, even though she was still, are they all real or just a story? We don't know yet, but it was like myths from a religion. Greek mythology is actually a religion in Greece. Also, it's kind of ironic how Medusa was actually the mortal, and yet the goddess of kebijakan was less wise than her. Also, like movie short story mungkin? Yes, itu juga bagus. Beautiful mother, thank you.
Terima kasih.
Kak, mamanya suruh ngomong apa gitu tentang cerita kakak? Also, what accent do you use? I'm also not really sure yet about my accent, but I'm very sure that it's an American accent, I think. Also, Medusa was actually a character in Greek mythology. But did you guys know how she died? She looked at her own reflection because she was astonished by the shield of Zeus, right? And the shield was very shiny that you could see your own reflection. And when she saw her own reflection, she became a stone. And Perseus, thank you so much. So she got sliced off her head, and she brought the head, and Perseus brought the head to Athena. And so Athena made a shield of her head on a shield, just to soften the bruise. And anyways, there was also a comment, tried to tell a story about Zeus and his first wife. Okay, so let's get into Zeus and Hera's very toxic relationship. So now after Medusa, are Medusa ever married in his life? No, Medusa never got married in her life. Sebelum kakak mulai cerita mitologi Yunani di TikTok, kakak cari tahu informasi ceritanya. USA, British bukan begini accentnya. Iya, aku nggak bisa terlalu British. It's so sad, OMG. Yeah, I know, right? Her head was only used as an apology for a shield. Lah, kira orang Indo, orang luar. No. Also, Medusa, like it's also okay. So now let's get into Zeus and Hera's first wife. So, Zeus and Hera actually have a very you seem know well ancient Greece. Yes. So really, Zeus and Hera, they are actually, you look alike. Before I thought you were Philippines or Brazil. You look alike, by the way. Oh, that's a very good compliment. Thank you so much. Okay, so Zeus and Hera, they're actually a very toxic relationship. Why? Because Zeus is the king of the gods. He was the king. I don't really know about Zeus though. Okay, really? Okay, I'm going to tell you guys about Zeus. Zeus is the god of the sky. Zeus is the god of the sky, and did you believe that Medusa was turned as a curse or a blessing? In my opinion, a curse. You look so smart, sis. Thank you so much. In my opinion, Medusa, I think she got as a curse. Menurut kakak salah nggak sih kalau musuh satu kata dan bisa ada kayak nya gitu? Nggak apa-apa kok. Okay, so I'm a teacher. I like how you describe the story. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gift. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You are good. Thank you. Zeus, the only supreme god in Greek mythology. No, there are also primordial beings. What is Medusa? Tell a little bit, please. Actually, Medusa is a Greek mythology character that is often used in tattoos as a symbol of people getting sexually harassed. And also a character that's very misunderstood. Also, let's get into the fact of Zeus and Hera. There's some people who don't know about Zeus. Zeus is not only the supreme god of it. Ini mah sering banget nanti di kelas teman pada minta buat dicemahin. Yeah. What major do you think you will take at college? I'm not sure yet. Wait, I knew Zeus produced a child from his head. What the heck? Yes! Zeus produced a child, and that very own child was Athena. Athena was born from his head. Athena was born from his head because ibunya pasti bangga banget. Thank you so much. Also, Zeus was actually the most, he was the king of the gods because he saved all of them from his father, Cronus. Also, are you a primary student? Yes, I am. I'm Indonesian, but my stepfather is German, but I can't speak as fast as you. Aw, thank you so much. I'm pretty sure you're really good at English too. Also, Zeus is actually the king of the gods, and Hera can't do anything when he cheats, because Zeus has a very wandering eye. Zeus can cheat, and so Zeus can cheat, right? And Zeus has many women. Hai, aku balik lagi. Hai. Terus gift-nya ditangguhkan TikTok ya. Terima kasih ya Kak udah kasih di gift. Enggak. Ini aku otodidak. Jadi kalau cara-caranya aku kurang bisa, tapi kalau mau ada juga tutorial banget atau tidak Duolingo dan dapat. Wait, now you talk about story? Yes, I talk about stories now. I used to. How many child that Medusa had? Medusa only had one child, Perseus, but Pegasus, by Poseidon. Gak bisa di-gift deh. Oh, kenapa ya itu mah? kurang tahu. Pemberian hadiah ditangguhkan di live ini deh, ditangguhkan live ini. Jadi nggak bisa. Tapi tapi gak apa-apa kok. Aku bersyukur atas gift-gift yang sudah aku udah bersyukur atas gift-gift yang sudah kalian kasih. Can you elaborate how Greek mythology first arose? How did it arose? So, okay. Athena's very jealous about it. I hear you once curse something, right? Yes. She did nothing, right? Yeah, Medusa did get cursed because she got raped. Maaf ya kakak, gak bisa dikasih gift di TikTok ditangguhkan. Iya, gak apa-apa kok. Okay, so, actually, from Greek mythology, there was, let's talk about first about nymphs. No. Actually, let's start talking about Uranus and Gaia. So Uranus was actually the god of the sky. And so let's talk about the arising of Greek mythology. So Uranus was the god of the sky. Namanya orang Entete kah? Iya. The god of the sky. Are you Batak? No, I'm not Batak. I'm Entete. Which god from Greek mythology is your favorite? Hades. And Hades. Really, I never listened to this first story. I listened to this story, very cute. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mungkin ada pelanggaran dek, makanya nggak bisa di gift dek. Oh, nggak apa-apa kok. Aku udah bersyukur atas gift yang sudah dikasih. Also, I think you're from Manggarai, right? Yes, I am. Manggarai and Manggarai. Also, let's get back into the arising of Greek mythology. So Greek mythology is actually, from the rising of it, it all started with Uranus and Gaia, right? Gaia is the earth, and Gaia is Mother Earth, and Uranus is the sky. So they had a union, right? They became married, and so they had children, which is the giants and the heterarchy. There's this like species. Wait, let me. There's the species. Other than Titans, I think there was a heteroxes. But I'm from Timor Leste, and you? Ooh, that's really cool. I'm from and Flores. Oh, have you read any classic books? Not yet. Keep your spirit up, sis. Thank you. So really, let's really continue the story. Yes. So really, so there are Titans, heterarchies, and Cyclops, and so they all existed from Uranus. So Gaia had a child named Cronus because Uranus stuffed all of his kids back into the womb of Gaia because he was afraid that his own children would overthrow him. And so, you should actually read Greek mythology from Liv Albert. Ooh, I'll try it. Maybe. Ngerti, please. I'm sorry. Are you guys Indonesian or Filipino? Indonesian. Our school and government school. If your school and government school is very awesome. Yes, swasta. Swasta. Manis banget anaknya. Thank you. Sekolah. Okay. So really, maybe you should try talking about Themis and Apollo next time. Ooh, Themis and Apollo. Yes, sure. So Uranus and stuffed back his children into the womb of Gaia, and so Gaia was exhausted, right? So she released one of her children named Cronus, a giant, a titan, and so she gave her a spear, and so Cronus struck the spear to his father and overthrown him. And so that's how the legacy of Zeus became. So Uranus got overthrown by Cronus. Are you fasting? The people who fast are like 14 years above 14 years, up 14 years, and I'm not yet 14 years, so yeah, I'm not yet fasting. Also, very nice to hear. Thank you. Also, how did you know English and should study other language like Timor-Leste and Portuguese? Autodidact, and maybe I'll try other languages. The accent. Thank you. Gaia released Cronus, and so Cronus got a spear. But are you Catholic or Muslim? I'm Catholic. I'm in 5th grade. Also, so really, let's get into when Cronus killed. Hi, Hul. So that's how the legacy. Pasti tidak lidahnya capek ya. Minum dulu kalau gitu. Sebentar aja, gak apa-apa. Do you think Greek mythology is factual or fictional? Because by my perspective, it sounds a bit heinous. Ooh, heinous. It's actually very complex because many of the stories don't even sound like very realistic. But even if they're myths, I feel like their morals are really good. You're so pretty, but you sound exhausted. Oh, probably because a few hours ago I just woke up and I haven't just drank any water. Bagaimana? Also, what length? Also, so let's get back into when. Also, guys, my mom supervised. You should try to join the speech competition if it's how you talk. Thank you. Also, guys, my mom. My mom is always with me during every live because I am underage. But even though I am underage, my mom always supervises me. And also, I think I can study English from you, and you can study Portuguese from me. Sure. Ini udah bisa bahasa Inggris 100% ya? Atau berapa kali itu? Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Also, kangen banget sama mamanya. Adiknya juga pintarnya pintar. Also, guys, let me just pause the live for a little bit, okay? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just pause the live a little bit. Mau minum air sedikit. Pause. Salah ya. Aku udah bisuin, aku juga udah bedain.